Hello everyone. This is Starry Ari's ASMR. I am Ari, and today I would like to create a new meal calendar for the month of September. So here you can see my meal calendar for August, and we had a pretty busy month, not as busy as July, but it was still pretty busy. And so we did have lots of these fend for yourself days. But we also had some really good meals thrown in here. So I want to just kind of go ahead and jump right in. If you haven't seen my meal calendar videos before, I've actually done quite a few at this point. I will go ahead and link the playlist here. And then my husband and I already kind of brainstormed a few meals that we wanted to add to our September calendar. So I'm going to just kind of go through the days and fill in some meals and fill in some blanks and just kind of generally do a little bit of meal planning. And I think that this calendar is just really helpful for us to kind of stay organized throughout the month. Make sure that we're not like ordering food in too often or, just resorting to the same things week in, week out. So this is really helpful for us in that regard. And I'm going to go ahead and erase this old calendar. And I just like to use a blank paper towel for that. It's just a little bit easier to wipe away large portions of the calendar. And this whiteboard is getting a little bit older, so you might be able to hear a little bit of the crinkling from where the whiteboard material is slightly starting to lift up from, I think, like the cardboard backing. I do like how big this calendar is though, and it fits perfectly right on top, right in front of our fridge, like freezer door at the top of the fridge. And so we have some command hooks, or not command hooks, command strips on the back of this calendar. And that makes it really convenient every month. When I need to write a new one, I can just kind of pull it off of the fridge. And once I'm done writing the new month, I can just go ahead and pop it right back up. So it's really convenient. And we've been doing this for quite a few years, and it gets moved around a lot. The days aren't set in stone, but it's just so nice to have some meals already planned so that we're not having to think about it every single day. We just have one mini session of brainstorming for the month, and then we just kind of call it good. Okay, so that is the month fully erased. And then I have this little mini marker over here that just has a little eraser in case I make any mistakes, but the actual marker part is dead. So I have this other marker up top here that I'm going to use instead. So the first thing that I'm going to do is write September And we usually do a little doodle over here. I don't think we actually drew anything for August because we were kind of very busy, but I think September, since we're kind of getting in the mood for fall, I think we'll probably end up doing some maybe like little fall leaves or something up here. So next I'm going to go ahead and fill in the dates of the month, and September starts on the 1st of, or it starts on a Monday. And I just like to write them up in the left-hand corner of the boxes. I don't really need them to be too big, but just kind of up out of the way, but still big enough to be visible. And then September does have 30 days. So not 31. But I think I'm going to fill out the rest of this week because part of the week is still kind of in the grocery trip as this week. And so I want to know exactly what groceries we need for these other meals. So I'm going to do the 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th of October here. Okay. Here we go. And then I am actually filming this a little bit late this month. I'm filming this on the 4th, and we were gone on a trip. We flew back yesterday. So I'm going to write gone with a little arrow like that. And then today we actually moved a meal from last week that we didn't quite get to. We ended up not needing it. And all of the stuff that we had for it was frozen or dried pantry items, so we didn't have any produce going to waste. And that was our fried rice. So we love our fried rice, and we really wanted to make sure that we actually made it because we did get some like frozen veggies. We usually like to just use frozen veggies for our fried rice. It's easy enough. And for instances like what we had where we ended up not needing to make it, like it's one of those nice meals that like we use our frozen chicken and everything, so it's easily able to just be moved around. And then, oh, I actually forgot, we do have another weekend that we're going to be gone, and I think it's this weekend here. So I'm going to write gone. And I'm just going to do a little mark because I think we might want to plan a meal for the 28th, but this will show me that it's like we're coming back on the 28th. Okay, so I think that might be the only weekend we're going to be gone. I think we have a couple of events, or like we have like one charity event that we're going to this month. So I think I'll just do like a fend for yourself day, because I think that there's dinner that's being provided, but I'm not too sure. So we'll kind of get to it when we get to it. So for the 5th, we definitely are going to have leftovers from the fried rice. So I'm going to do a fend for yourself day on the 5th. And then the 6th, we really want to do our chicken pot pie soup. And we love soups, and if you've seen any of my last few meal calendar videos, you'll probably recognize most of these meals, honestly, but especially this one. This was one that we tried this last winter, and we just absolutely loved it, and we've had it like at least every other month. and it's just so delicious. So we're gonna do the chicken pot pie soup on that Saturday, and we definitely will have leftovers from that. So I'm gonna do a Fend for Yourself day on the 7th, and then my husband would really like to do spaghetti. So we love spaghetti, and it's also one of our regular meals because it's so easy. We don't make our own red sauce. We're kind of like cheesy Americans in that way. We just get store-bought red sauce, but it's just a really good, easy, quick meal that makes like a ton of food. So we definitely have leftovers from that. And I love leftovers. I'm a huge, big, like, leftovers fan. I will have leftovers for lunch and dinner. Like, I'm a big fan of, like, cooking one big meal and then having leftovers for, like, dinner and maybe a lunch the next day or something like that. So, we're going to do Fend for Yourself on the 9th. And then I am thinking we're probably going to get like a nicer bread to have on the side with our spaghetti because we definitely need a carb on the side for our carbs, but it's just what we like to do. We also have a salad on the side, but we're definitely big on carbs. So I think what I'm actually going to do is to grill the cheese, because if we have any leftover nice bread, we can just do a kind of fancier grilled cheese with tomato soup with that nice bread. And if not, we can just use our normal like sandwich bread and it'll be okay. So let's do the grilled cheese, and then I'm thinking we kind of don't usually have leftovers from our grilled cheese because we just make the grilled cheese for that one night. So I do want something on the 11th. And I'm thinking maybe I will do our chicken curry, because that is very tasty. And most of our meals are like nice, filling, warm meals, but I'm definitely getting in the mood for fall. Our weather hasn't quite changed yet. It honestly probably won't through most of the month, but I'm like in the mood for some cozier weather, and I just want to put on my like cozy sweaters and stuff. So this month I think I'm really feeling like good, like hefty meals. So I want to do our chicken curry, and we will have some leftovers from that on the 12th. And then the 13th, let's do our pasta vinaigrette. And this is a rainbow rotini pasta dish. And we have tons of veggies. So we get celery, onions, carrots, bell peppers, radishes, like tons of veggies, and saute them up with some smoked or andouille sausage or Polish sausage, and it is served with some like zesty Italian dressing, and we just love it, and it's so tasty, and it's really nice with all of those veggies, but it's not really quite healthy with like the oil and the vinaigrette, but it's still like feels kind of healthier with all those veggies. So we love our pasta vinaigrette. It is kind of more intensive to make just because it is so many veggies. It like takes a good amount of time of prep, but this is one that we can do where maybe the day before, if we're feeling like it, we could do a lot of the prep and chop up the veggies beforehand and then just put them in the fridge. And then that way, when we're actually making it, we can just like throw everything in the pan and be good to go and don't have to take all of that time for the prep. So that is a really good meal for that. So we're going to do that on the 13th, and I think the next day we'll definitely have leftovers. We honestly usually have leftovers for like 2 days from that. 2 days of me having it for like lunch and dinner. So we're gonna do fend for yourself on this day. And then I'm thinking on the 15th, my husband would really like to do chicken and waffles again. So we tried to do our own chicken and waffles maybe in July. It might have been June, somewhere around there, but we really liked the recipe that we found, and we don't ever really fry our own chicken, but we did a great job in the air fryer, so we want to try and do chicken and waffles again. And we're a big fan of breakfast foods for dinner. Both of us really like that. So we're going to do chicken and waffles on the 15th. And then we usually have that for like breakfast the next day whenever we do breakfast foods. The night before, we usually have it for breakfast the next day. So I do think I'm going to maybe plan something here. And I think what I'm going to do is maybe our tortellini and spinach. So we just pick up some pre-made tortellini, and we do like tortellini and pesto sauce with spinach and mushrooms if we want. But it's kind of just an easy meal that we can like throw in whatever veggies we're feeling at the time. So it's pretty easy, which is good because we are kind of going to be a little bit busier. My husband is like kind of going back to work a little bit. He usually gets summers off, and so September is a lot of like lesson planning and just trainings and actually going back to work. So it's nice to kind of have some of these easier meals thrown in. So we're going to do tortellini and spinach, and we'll definitely have some leftovers from that. And then here I think that we are actually going to an event. There's like a little charity like bingo auction near us. So we're going to go to that, and I'm pretty sure that there's food served there. If not, we'll probably get food while we're there. So I'm going to do a Fend for Yourself on the 18th. And then for the 19th, I'm thinking we haven't done our jambalaya in a little while. And I love our jambalaya. I love shrimp so much. We usually do like one shrimp meal a month, even though it's a little bit spendier, but I love our jambalaya. And we do like chicken breast, shrimp, sausage, all of the good veggies served over rice. Like it's just really, really delicious. So, and we make it in the Instant Pot. Most of our meals we can do in the Instant Pot, which we just love to do because it's simple and easy, a lot faster than like us having to prepare and remember to throw something in a slow cooker early in the day. So we're going to do the jambalaya on the 19th. Definitely one that we have lots of leftovers from. I'm going to do Fend for Yourself that next day. And then this week we are actually quite busy, and we're prepping for this weekend a little bit. So I think this week I kind of want some easier, like easy to kind of throw together meals. So I'm going to do, I think, chef salads. Which is super easy for us. We just throw together a nice iceberg lettuce salad, hard boil up some eggs. We can do like, sometimes we've done grilled chicken, other times we've just done lunch meat, depending on how lazy we're feeling. So I'm going to do chef salads for the 21st, and then we are going to have some leftover salad mix from this, and so I'm thinking what we can do is taco salads. So we just get some ground beef and make up some like taco meat with some onion, lots of good seasonings, and then we cheese, whatever we want to throw in there. So those salads back to back will be really good. It's kind of nice to have two salads where we can reuse the salad mix but have them taste a little bit different. So I'm going to do that the 21st and the 22nd. And then I'm thinking we might have some leftover taco meat that we could do actual tacos with some mini tortillas if we want, or just some more taco salads if we have more salad mix. Either way, I'm going to do fun for yourself. And then on the 24th, I think I want to do a meal that is definitely going to give us some leftovers. And I think I'm going to do our rigatoni with sausage and peas. Because that one gives us lots of leftovers. And it's fairly simple to make. I have a couple of Instapot books over here. And the rigatoni with sausage and peas is one of my regular ones that you probably very often see me like write down. And that's what it looks like in the book. It is so tasty. We top it with just some fresh basil and feta cheese. It says that you can use crumbled goat or feta cheese. We like feta cheese. It's just so tasty. It's so hearty and filling, and I just really love it. As you can see, we have tons of meals like bookmarked in these books, but we usually kind of gravitate to the same ones like over and over. So we're going to do the rigatoni with the sausage and peas, and then we'll definitely have some leftovers, and we aren't really, I think that we'll be here for lunch on this day, so like if we also have any extra leftovers, we'll just eat them for lunch on Friday as well. And then we're going to be gone this weekend, and so I want something kind of simple on this day when we're coming back, because like after travel, I don't know about anybody else, but I usually don't want to make like an intensive dinner. So I think what we're going to do is our sausage mac, and we usually air fry some broccoli, cauliflower, any other veggies that we want, and then we do a box of the like dairy-free mac and cheese, and I think it's like Daya, the brand, and then we do some smoked sausage and just like, and we like to air fry the veggies so that they're a little bit crispy, because we find if we cook them with the sausage, sometimes they don't crisp up as much as we like. So we like to air fry all of the veggies and then throw them in and just mix everything together. Super simple, really, really easy to do. And it's one of those that like we're not going to have trouble doing when we come back from traveling. So we're going to do that on the 28th. And then I think on the 29th, we can do a fend for yourself from the leftovers from that. And then on the 30th, I'm thinking I really want to do some chili and cornbread. And I've been craving chili so much recently, but I haven't really been like feeling it because it's so hot out. And so I'm hoping if I put this at the end of the month that the weather outside will be a little bit cooler. And honestly, we're still doing like soups and stews and everything. We do that all throughout the summer, but for some reason chili and cornbread I've been wanting to push off a little bit until the fall. So I'm hoping by the 30th of September our weather will be a little bit nicer. So I'm going to do that on the 30th. We definitely have lots of leftovers from that. So we'll do a fend for yourself on the 1st. And I'm thinking, so we kind of need a few more meals. I'm thinking I'm going to do another fend for yourself here because we honestly make a ton of chili. And so we could have leftovers on Thursday that I want to make sure that we eat up. out, we always have some like frozen chicken breasts or tilapia that we can just throw in the air fryer and do some like mixed veggies or something. So we always have easy meals like that that we can throw in. So I'm gonna do another fun for yourself on the second, and then I'm gonna do a meal on the third. And there was a beef and broccoli recipe that I wanted to try that I saw on Pinterest. And we've done a few beef and broccoli recipes. And I'm going to write Pinterest in parentheses so I remember where this recipe came from. We've tried a few beef and broccoli recipes in our Instapot, and sometimes it's like, sometimes you grow up with this specific taste for certain foods, and if it doesn't quite taste that same way, it just tastes off. And we haven't quite found a beef and broccoli that both of us really liked, so I wanted to try this recipe. It seemed a little bit closer to, I think, what we're both looking for, so I'm going to try that on the third, and then we'll definitely have some leftovers. I assume we haven't done this one, but we always end up making more than we need, or like, you know, it's just the two of us in the house, but most recipes are for like 4 to 6 people, and so it like gives us a good amount of leftovers. So I'm gonna guess that we're gonna have some leftovers from that. So we'll do a fun for yourself day on the 4th. And then once September is over and I'm filling in the October meal calendar, I'll just kind of move this stuff up to that top line. Like I'll probably film the actual meal calendar sometime around here and then maybe post it on the 2nd. And then I'll just move these things like up to that first week. So I think that is everything, but I'm just gonna kind of double check. So we were gone for these days. I'm actually gonna cross out those days because we just generally like to do that. It kind of gives us a good visual of how far we are into the month. And like I said, I'm filming this on this Thursday, so I'm not going to cross that out. And then I usually like to do like a meal, fend for yourself, meal, fend for yourself. And the days where I've done meals back to back, those look good. Like I know that we're not going to have leftovers from grilled cheese. The chicken and waffles leftovers we'll probably have for breakfast on Tuesday. And this one, we have the event on the 18th. And I think that looks pretty good. I hope that you enjoyed watching me kind of do some meal planning, figuring out kind of exactly what we want to have for this upcoming month. Like I was saying, this isn't like solid, set in stone. We move things around. If you watch one of my previous meal calendar videos and then the next one after that, you'll see by the end of the month, like it looks very different than how it did when I actually wrote it out. But this is just a really good like blueprint for us, like going into a new month. I think that September isn't going to be as busy for us as, you know, July and August were, but we still have some busy weeks, and overall I'm pretty excited about some of the meals that we have. I hope that by the end of the month we're kind of getting into some fall weather a little bit more. I would love to hear if you have any like regular, easy, like weeknight meals that you and your family do. Like some of your favorite meals. I am always looking for new meals that we can add to our master list. So we have a list on my phone that we usually reference when we're brainstorming. And then I also like try and find, you know, new recipes, or we think up something that we want to try. But most of the meals that we do month to month come from our master list of meals that we've already tried before and that we know that we like. But I'm always on the lookout for new meals, so if you have any good, easy, not too intense meals to make, you know, feel free to share. I'd love to hear them.